Hi, this recording is for those who want to learn how to let go of their fear and anxiety, especially relating to flying and traveling, but also just in general, letting go of fear and anxiety. What are the symptoms of anxiety before flights? As you know, they can be various and many. Some of them anxiety before your flight, trouble sleeping or fear before entering the flight, during or during landing. Some people have a need for medication or alcohol to calm their nerves, physical symptoms or even pain, palpitations of the heart, excessive crying, or just losing control of your emotions and your actions. And this can often be followed by low self esteem or low self confidence. During the flight, some people experience such anxiety that they have to hold on to their seat. They jump up and down with every bump or every piece of turbulence. If weather is affecting the flight, it can be a reason for getting even more nervous, and severe anxiety or discomfort pre-flight, during, or both can accompany this. So if you recognize some of these symptoms, you know that ignoring them is easier said than done. So, what kind of help have you already looked for? Some people try meditation, various seminars, breathing techniques, some cognitive therapy, coaching, or like I said before, alcohol or medication. Others have tried hypnosis or various types of energy work. But if you're still experiencing anxiety and if you're watching this presentation, chances are that you've not found a way yet to permanently overcome your fear or your anxiety related to flight or travel. And if you're experiencing fear, anxiety, or nervousness in other areas of your life, no matter what the circumstances, I encourage you to watch this presentation still. My name is Helga Jensdottir. In the past few years, I've helped many people, just like you, to let go of your anxiety, depression, addictions, or phobias without using any medication. To accomplish this, I use various forms of therapy, many different techniques, a combination of hypnosis, deep emotional work, empowerment coaching, energy work. And what I include is rapid transformational therapy called RTT, which includes pieces of hypnosis, pieces of NLP. I also do NLP, EFT, emotional freedom techniques, which is maybe a little bit more known, and empowerment coaching. I'm also a former private pilot, an air traffic controller, and I'm working currently as an instructor within air traffic control. So my interest and knowledge within aviation goes back at least 30 years. But before I get to the presentation, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how my clients come to me and what for. They've sought me out for years to help them uproot old patterns, old behaviors, and thought processes that no longer serve them. So in this presentation, I will explain briefly why changing a behavior is often so difficult when you use your willpower alone, and I will mainly focus on fear of flying in this presentation. But it works. The methods I use, they also work for any other phobia and fear and many other symptoms. After this presentation, I will give you at least 2 powerful exercises that will help you keep calm when you need to, or lower your anxiety as a thank you for watching. So I want to mention one thing in the beginning, power versus force. It's actually a very famous book by Dr. David Hawkins that talks about this, which would be interesting maybe for you to read. But what I mean here is the power, I'm going to do this, using force to force yourself to do something, to will yourself to do something. It takes an enormous amount of energy and effort. It can be done, of course, but it is exhausting. Power means internal power, internal self-belief and confidence, and the knowing that I can do this. Force is more like I have to do this, I'm going to do this. You've probably said this to yourself millions of times. I will make it, I have to do this, even if it's the last thing I do. And many people who seek my help, they've reached a point of exhaustion. They're just exhausted. Their energy seems to have simply run out. And many are at the brink of burnout, which is a very severe but common condition. The good news is that this can be turned around with various methods and techniques. Most of my clients are women, but men are certainly welcome to my therapy sessions. Women seem to be more open to seeking help when it comes to feeling symptoms of burnout. But during this presentation, the fear and anxiety related to flying is going to be my number one focus. Just keep in mind that these techniques, they work on many other symptoms as well. So what I've found out with working with people who have a fear of flying, they are mainly in fear of not being in control. So these individuals, they feel maybe that I'm stuck in here, I can't really stop the plane and get out, like if I'm in a car. That's a contributing factor. Many people have just simply a fear of not being in control of the situation. So I want to talk a little bit about the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind to better understand what causes the fear of flying and the responses people go through or show. It's helpful to have a look at the mind and how it works. If we divide the mind into the conscious versus the subconscious when we describe behavior or reflexes or a skill, we know that the subconscious mind is in control at least 90% of the time. Most of your bodily functions are subconscious. Most of your habitual responses and how you talk, how you dress, how you are is subconscious. Many of you know this, but what does this mean when it comes to the fear we hold on to and our reactions? Consciously, we know that an aircraft will fly from A to B without any problems most of the time. In fact, it's the safest way to travel. Many of us know this. Much safer than driving or even walking down the street. Aircraft are regularly maintained and guidelines are very strict. Now, pilots have to undergo regular training and the level of professionalism is very high. The same applies for air traffic controllers. They undergo regular refresher training and they are experts at keeping the air traffic separated according to the standard separation minimum. So mechanics, ground staff, and everyone else who comes near your flight are professionals. You're in good hands, and everyone's intention is to get you safely, efficiently from A to B. This you know. Consciously, you absolutely know this. But what about emotions versus logic? The emotions that come up for you before you take a flight, they are simply more powerful than your logical mind trying to tell you that it's going to be okay, I will be safe. That's your logical mind trying to tell you. Your emotions will simply win every single time. They're simply more powerful. So there is something in your subconscious mind, some sort of memory that has been stored that tells your brain that now is the time to become fearful. So the emotions come up, they overtake everything, they overpower everything. To explain this, you can remember sayings such as once bitten, twice shy. If you've ever experienced anything that tells you this is a time to be fearful, you will be fearful. The strange thing is, you don't even have to remember why you have this anxiety, fear, or phobia, or what happened, if anything happened altogether. It's just your subconscious mind's way of telling you that there is something wrong here. You don't even have to have a memory that explains your fear. But during our work together, we can still dig up this memory and change the meaning of it. Whether it is a memory or just a feeling or just a belief that you have come across at some point in your life, we can change it. To be able to do that, in my experience, the fastest and easiest, most permanent way is to work on a subconscious level. So during hypnosis, or to work with your emotions, to calm them down and to eliminate the emotional response that will come up as soon as you even start thinking about taking a trip. So let me tell you a little bit about RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy. This wonderful lady you see in the picture here is called Marissa Peer. She's the founder and creator of RTT. And it's a method that has become more and more popular in the last few years. It's won an enormous amount of awards in the last few months and years, and it's starting to spread all over the world. So Marissa is doing wonderful work with this method, and I studied with her. This method combines parts of hypnotherapy, parts of NLP and coaching, and many other wonderful techniques, and the results are simply faster and more permanent than any other form or technique that I've ever come across. So I'm just going to show you here a few things that my clients have had to say. This one talks about travel sickness and anxiety, and after 2 sessions she was able to fly and travel without any medication. Another one here did not come to me specifically for fear of flying, but for pains, digestive problems, and severe anxiety. And another one who absolutely felt that this sort of treatment eliminated anxiety attacks and physical pain as well, problems sleeping, and feeling like she was being under enormous pressure. So just in a few simple sessions, maybe a couple of sessions, 3, 4 at the most of these symptoms can be eliminated using these wonderful techniques. RTT is one of them. EFT is another one, another method that I have used for the last 10 years to help my clients overcome all sorts of emotional and physical symptoms with wonderful results. This is a more well-known method. It's been going around for over 40 years, and it's easy to Google and have a look at emotional freedom techniques online to learn more about it. I encourage you to do that. But if you're experiencing any of these symptoms that I've been mentioning, and you've not been successful yourself in letting them go, chances are that my methods can help. So I encourage you to contact me. As a thank you for watching, I'd like to offer you 2 methods you can use right now to ease your anxiety and fear and to increase your confidence. One, and the most simple you can use, is I am enough. You can put it in your own language like I have done here. This is Icelandic. I've put it in my own language in the background here just to give you an idea how you can use this in the background on your computer screen or on your telephone or any other device. Or you can simply put it on every single mirror in the house. It's going to benefit both you and everybody else in the household. It's especially beneficial for young adults and kids. And just seeing this and having your subconscious drink this in every single day will do wonders for you, just to tell yourself that you are enough. The thought behind this is that insecurities and anxiety most likely stem from a belief in the subconscious mind that goes something like this: I'm not enough, I don't understand, and I'm not capable. This is a complete misconception. You are enough, you do understand, and you are more than capable. It's very important that we understand where this comes from, and to explain this, I've put in this wonderful picture with a quote from Albert Einstein that says, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid." And just imagine where this comes from. And this is kind of a funny picture that says, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. For some of us, growing up, performing a task like this is going to be easy. For others, going to be simply impossible. And then we start thinking, I must not be good enough. So you can understand where this I'm not good enough comes from. It's simply from society expecting all of us to be able to do the same things, while of course we're not all able to do the same things. The current education system has a tendency to put everyone in the same box, so to speak. There's no room for accommodating every single individual because we're so many and we're so different. But your inner genius was not if it wasn't lit up while you were growing up, and if it wasn't really drawn out into the light as a child, chances are that you must have overlooked them and you've missed your inner genius, and you have created some sort or some version of this misconception and this belief that you're not enough, you don't understand, and you're not capable. But believe me, you are. So keep this "I am enough" on your mirrors, on your desktop, anywhere that you see it on a daily basis, 100 times per day, and little by little you will start to feel the difference. Another thing you can do, and another exercise you can do right now, is to remember that your brain is listening all the time to everything you say. So during hypnosis, you become very suggestible, and the intention is to give your subconscious mind better, more positive and empowering suggestions than you tend to give yourself. Take good notice of the inner self-talk that goes on in your mind in the next few days. Write down some of the things you say to yourself, and take particular notice of the inner dialogue that you use when you make a mistake or when you're running late or in other similar situations. I'm not even going to repeat what you might say, because the harsh, critical, negative self-talk we allow ourselves to use towards ourselves, we would never use towards other people. We simply would not dare. The main, most common reason for depression nowadays is hurtful, harsh, self-critical inner self-talk, and also not following your heart's desire. These have been found to be the main it's groundbreaking that this is the main reason for why so many people today feel depression. It's because of the way they talk to themselves, the inner self-talk. So be very careful with this. So just to quickly go over this, if you tend to say something like this: "I simply can't do it," and especially before you go flying, "I'll die from the anxiety, I'm sure I won't survive, I'll never make it out in one piece, I'm going to be so anxious and nervous," imagine what your brain is doing. Your brain is listening and it's taking it all in. So what can you do? You can change these affirmations. You can change what you say to yourself. And you can say something like, "I have incredible coping skills that allow me to handle any situation. I easily find ways to keep calm and balanced under all circumstances. I'm safe and I'm secure. I'm resourceful, I'm creative. I succeed when I put my mind to it. Physically, I'm in balance and feeling good and safe." You feel free to replace these with your own words and something that's relevant in your own life. But as with the "I'm enough" sentence, keep repeating these to yourself every day. Put it on a piece of paper, keep it in your pocket or your purse, and take it out every single day and look at it, listen to it, even record it on your phone and listen to it, because this information, it goes into a different part of your brain when you read it or when you listen to it. So be careful to become aware of your inner self-talk and change it where it's needed. I'm going to give you one more bonus exercise. If you have a severe case of phobia, severe case of fear before you go flying, before you go traveling, try this exercise. And I've seen this work even with kids down to 10 years old. You just focus on the here and now by counting 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can smell, and 2 you can hear, 1 you can taste. And you can do this when you feel that the anxiety is taking over. When you're walking down the aisle, you're about to go on board the plane, or you're sitting down, or a plane is about to take off. Just make sure that your mind gets something to focus on, which is on the here and now. And the trick is to focus so intently that you don't have time to think about the future and feel the anxiety, because you're so intently focusing on what you're experiencing right here, right now. So I encourage you to try that exercise as well. Finally, I'd like to thank you for watching and to encourage you to get in touch for a free 20-minute phone call with me to evaluate if working together is a good fit. I've no doubt that you will benefit tremendously from becoming more aware of your subconscious habits, and it would be my pleasure to assist you in changing them for other more suitable habits As soon as you're aware of them, they are easy to change. So thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing from you.